All right, you guys, historically, it used to make sense to go up to the EX trim of the Kia Forte or most of our models to get the best bang for your buck. It offered the best value, usually introduced some new tech and safety functions. It made sense, right?
But is that always the case?
Well, let's talk about it. So in today's video, Charlotte and I are giving you a full and complete walkthrough of the 2025, that's right, Kia K4. So this is a brand new vehicle to our lineup. We actually just received our models yesterday, and so far we've only filmed the base model or entry-level LX trim, and we were blown away with the value.
Definitely.
There's a lot more you get in our entry-level sedans now than you did way back. Maybe change your mind. Do you still have to go to the EX? Is it worth it? Well, it just might be.
Let's figure that out.
All right, so full and complete walkthrough, and we're doing what?
We're doing it live, which
Yes.
means if you've seen this already, no you haven't, but it means that we're doing this in real time, and if you guys have questions, put them in the chat and we'll do our very best to answer them for you at our Q&A at the end of the video. If you're watching this after it's already posted, like this video, subscribe to the Kia Hyundai channel, and also leave a comment down below if you still have questions, and we will answer it for you.
All right, should we get into it?
Let's go.
Okay, so we're gonna focus on this Aurora Black EX model. The white one we have, sorry, my pants got stuck. The white one we have just to the right is actually LX, and if you want to see a full and complete walkthrough of that, check out yesterday's video. Let's focus on the guy though. So front end, they're almost exactly the same. Matter of fact, they are exactly the same. A lot of the things that are going to improve on this vehicle come to its side profile and the interior. First up, let's talk about the headlamps. The most dramatic thing and what really draws my eye to this vehicle is going to be that beautiful amber daytime running light. It's distinct, it matches Kia's Star Map signature lighting style, and it still gives this vehicle a beautiful tiger nose grille, which is kind of, I guess, symbolic of all of Kia's lineup. It's something that you see in each one of our models, and it looks good. The rest of the front end of this vehicle isn't overly styled. It's simple, sleek, but it looks good. It's done in a very nice way, and it's not busy, anything like that. You get a body color front bumper, and then below that you have some of the first touches of our safety functions. So that rectangular plate over there is actually our front radar sensor that's utilized for your smart cruise control with stop and go, which actually starts in the entry-level LX. And that's again what I'm talking about when I say a lot of the value comes in the LX trim. But it builds on from there. We also get an advanced forward collision avoidance, so it's called Forward Collision Avoidance 1.5. This works in junctions as well, so if you're making a left turn at a busy intersection, pedestrians, cyclists, vehicles, everything, it's going to alert you as a driver and apply brake force to mitigate a collision, which is a great safety function to have on a vehicle like this, which a majority of our buyers are living and driving, commuting in the city, so with lots of high traffic and heavy pedestrians. Gonna pop the hood to talk about the powertrain. Now this powertrain is quite special to me. It's actually in my personal vehicle, so I can vouch for it. I've driven it high speeds and pretty high mileage. I've clocked over 72,000 kilometers on my Kia Forte, so the, I guess, sister vehicle of this. And I can tell you, when it comes to efficiency and also performance, it does very well. This hood, it's a big hood and it's long, so it's a bit heavy. We do have a prop arm to support it. And here is your 2-liter 4-cylinder MPI engine. And MPI is great in the long run because, well, it reduces that carbon buildup. You get 147 horsepower with 132 pound-feet of torque. Tied together, again, those numbers don't sound like performance spec, and that's okay. There is a turbocharged option of the Kia K4 that we'll see later. Charlotte, are you okay?
Yep.
Okay. But like I said, I use this in my day-to-day life. It's fantastic. There is a drive mode select function on the EX trim level 2 that allows you to put in sport mode, and that will give you a bit more of a peppy response to your throttle. So that's your engine. Let's talk transmission. You get an IVT transmission, so that stands for intelligent variable. It is going to operate very similar to a CVT, but don't let it be confused. It is going to have some mechanical differences and definitely some driver feel differences. It's not sticky, it doesn't have that droning noise, and the automated, or I guess simulated gear shifts feel realistic, so I do like them quite a bit. I didn't talk too much about the rest of the headlamp, and I realized they now turned off, but hopefully you got a glimpse of them earlier. You're gonna get full LEDs, and that starts again on the LX trim level. So every trim of the Kia K4 will have LEDs, and that is a huge win. You also get automatic high beam assist. Wheels are one of those aesthetic changes that we actually get on the EX. It is a huge, huge, huge thing for me. So the $2,500 difference between these two vehicles, I think the wheels alone make up for it. You get 17-inch alloys with this very nice design, not, again, overly styled, looks good. You get an all-season tire with a ventilated disc brake up at the front, larger disc too. And it just looks good. It is a front-wheel drive sedan, which, I mean, I drive a front-wheel drive sedan here in Canada. Winter tires are your best friend, more than capable, and the ground clearance is still quite good. You do get tire pressure monitors standard as well, too. Now, just to show you in contrast what the LX wheels look like versus the EX, Charlotte's going to show you the LX. So those are 16-inch steel wheels with a cover, a hubcap.
Give us nothing.
I mean, wheels are one of the easier things to change on a vehicle, so it's not a huge deal breaker. The LX is still value-packed and still a fantastic vehicle with all of its standard functions. But the design on the EX definitely takes it up a couple notches, and that is true especially for the interior once Charlotte takes that over.
Absolutely.
So again, drive of these vehicles, both are fantastic. I just want to quickly touch on some of the improvements the K4 has made. So it's obviously larger than the Forte. It's not just a rebadged or renamed Forte. They completely redesigned this vehicle. It has much better road noise control. So it has a quieter, smoother ride. It's better for the passengers in the rear. There's a lot more space, and just the tech, everything in it, fantastic. But you're gonna have to watch this video through to see it all. All right, another aesthetic change is going to come to your mirrors. So we actually have a turn signal repeater integrated into the mirror itself, and that is of course going to illuminate when you indicate a turn or if you have your hazards on. When it comes to tech, one of the upgrades the EX offers is going to be your blind spot detection. So that's going to be shown on the actual mirrored portion, and that of course illuminates either your left or right side based off if there's a vehicle or something in your blind spot. Not only does that illuminate, it actually gives you some driver assistance. So as I'm driving, if I go to indicate a turn to the right and there's a car there, but I still go to merged lanes, it'll guide me back into my originating lane to avoid a blind spot collision. Proximity entry on this vehicle, a little hard to see with the black paint, but you have your button there for quick entry, both to unlock and lock your car, and body color door handles. Speaking of door handles, they're a little different on the rear. They're actually integrated right up here. So a little bit of getting used to. Charlotte mentioned on our previous video that if you have kids that are shorter, it might be hard, but big stretch, hopefully to reach it. It's a little bit different. I think it looks good. And I think this is a great angle to really capture the fastback style that the K4 gives you. So it's a very sleek vehicle, definitely has a wider profile for sure. So it's a much bigger vehicle than the Forte. Even though measurement-wise, it's not that big of a difference. I believe it's about 2 inches wider, something like that. You really see it when it comes to how they built the car. The layout, I think it looks good. It's very sporty, even though this isn't even our turbocharged trim level yet. Your taillights are a mix of LEDs and bulbs. I'm gonna turn them on and hit the brakes to show you guys. And I really like the bar style. All right, so let's hit the brakes. And full lights. I'll get the hazards for you guys too, so you can see that. Beautiful. One of the small things that this vehicle adds on that I know a lot of people don't think about, but it's so nice to have once you have it, a button for your trunk release. A lot of more so entry-level models, so LX, EX for example, and especially compact cars, don't actually have a trunk release that's, I guess, easily available. You have to either utilize your key fob or there's a button somewhere by the driver's area. Here, it's just nice and simple. So you go back here, it's gonna be hard to see the actual amount of space. Because it is a sedan, obviously the opening isn't gonna be as big as an SUV, but once you get past this, there is so much usable cargo space. You can fold down the rear seats so they fold individually left and right, or I guess I should say 60-40. And then just underneath, here is a shock. We have an actual compact spare tire in a compact sedan vehicle.
Yeah.
Charlotte, that's rare.
We don't see that anymore.
We do not see that often. So great to have, and I don't know if you guys could tell, but there is still a really good amount of storage space underneath there for whatever else you need.
First aid kit, any essentials.
Yeah,
definitely.
There's room.
Flashlight.
We'll close that. Another thing that this specific trim level adds on from the LX is going to be a rear cross traffic collision avoidance assist.
Say that 10 times fast.
You can't, you really can't. But you know what you can? You can appreciate this function. So when you're reversing, let's say out of a busy parking lot and there's 2 large vehicles beside you, it's really hard to see what's happening behind them. So let's say someone's walking by or someone's driving by. This vehicle can pick that up, it'll alert you inside the cabin with an audible alert and visual, but it will also hit the brakes for you if you keep proceeding to reverse. So the car can avoid a rear collision as well. Very, very nice to have in the city. It's turned on a couple times in my car. Scared the life out of me, but I'm really happy I had that function at the end of the day. K4 badging is on the bottom left. It looks good. Again, this car is not overly styled. It's simple, it's sleek. If you want something a little more styled up, get the GT line trims, which hopefully we'll see very, very soon. That was a hint for seeing them next week.
It was the wink, yeah.
Yes. All right, I think I'm done for the exterior show. I was going to take you on a tour on the inside.
All right. So Gabby, as we were going around, mentioned just some of the differences that we're seeing in terms of space. Where you're really going to feel that impact may not necessarily be on the exterior, but definitely on the interior. And I noticed that there's like 110 or a little over that people on and only 30 likes. So if you haven't already, please like this video. It's free. It helps us out a lot, and we just really appreciate it. Also, to give you a little sneak peek as to what's coming later this week, you're probably wondering why we have the Alex in here, and that's because we shot a full, complete comparison of these two trims side by side. So stay tuned for that and subscribe if you haven't already. Okay, let's go inside. So let's first talk about the driver's side door, and we'll talk about some of the design elements that we have on here. You'll notice already that we're seeing some more premium touches. We're seeing you can come around this side.
Sorry.
That's good.
I was stuck.
It's okay. We're seeing a lot more premium design elements in terms of material. So you can see that we have a mix of some cloth with our plastic. We also have some soft touch. We're seeing a lot more chrome accents and some more glossy black instead of that flat black plastic that we see on the LX. Also over here, you'll probably notice that with our door handles, our heated seat button has moved, but we also see the heated steering wheel, which is going to start on this trim. Our steering wheel is leather wrapped and heated all the way around. Also, the other thing I want to mention down at the bottom is going to be our speakers. We do have 6 in-house speakers in this vehicle, so nice contrast from the 4. And when it comes to safety, although IIHS ratings aren't out or NHTSA ratings are out, this does have 8 airbags, and Gabby did a great job of mentioning all of the advanced collision avoidance features on the exterior of the vehicle, so we can expect that we're going to continue to see great ratings, just like we have from Kia and Hyundai sedans.
I just got a quick question to ask you about the fuel door and where it is. So it's on the driver's side, rear. The release is similar to what we saw in the Forte, so it's actually a latch located down here.
Yep.
And you also have an additional trunk release latch there too.
Yep, so you can open your trunk from the interior, your fuel door, and then the bonnet is up front, right there. All right, another thing I want to point out is just going to be our bottle holder. You'll notice that it doesn't have a top, so you can fit a giant bottle in there. Nice tall bottle in there if you want. Seats.
Costco hot dogs.
Costco, ew, so gross. Seats, they have a different design style, but we do have the same 6-way manual adjustment for both seats as we do in the LX, and these seats are both going to be heated, so very comfortable. I'll have Gabby come around and she'll give a better look at what the seats look like.
Look there. I don't know, so technically we did do this video twice. The first time our gimbal failed, and I don't really remember what I spoke about on this video versus yesterday's. But fuel efficiency rating combined, the 2-liter 4-cylinder is going to give you 7 liters per 100 kilometers, again, combined. On the highway, though, this car shines, 5.8 liters per 100 with a gasoline-only powertrain. That's something we like to see.
That's a number I like to hear, and that's a number that I don't mind paying for at the pump, for sure. Definitely, it can get expensive. All right, so here's a better look at the seats. You can see that we do, thank you, Gabby.
I wish we had a 2-way camera because that would have been so.
What I see is so different from what you guys see. You can see that we do have some differences when it comes to the actual, not the material, but the color. So it's that full gray heather, and then we have some more stylized items when it comes to the actual insert, and it's going to be the same seat. It's got that same 6-way manual adjustment as does the driver's seat, not manual power. In front of me, we have our steering wheel. This is not the black plastic one, it's actually leather. And this is a beefy steering wheel. Like, it's thick, it's a 2-spoke design, which I really like. And I also like how the icon reflects the fact that it's a 2-spoke design. How cool is that? So from here, you can access your advanced driving. So your smart cruise control with that stop and go. And then also your media controls are gonna be on this side. One thing that we see for the first time is going to be our drive mode select, which is going to be opposite our offset Kia logo. And I really like it with the drive mode select. I think that this balances each other out, and I am a fan of asymmetry. I know I'm the minority here. Please don't yell at me.
You're crazy for that.
I know, Gabby hates it. But with drive mode select, you do have the option for a normal and sport mode, and what it's going to do is it's basically going to change those preset gear ratios or those artificial gear ratios the IVT has just for the performance for the vehicle depending on which mode it's in. So sporty is going to give you a little bit more of that sportier response, no way I know. And then normal, of course, is going to be just regular, normal, comfortable driving. So lots of fun to be had. For our instrument cluster, I will note that we have a 4.2-inch center screen and digital speedometer, digital tachometer. When it comes to actually scrolling through, you can see your safety items, you can get a display of your TPMS, and also see how the vehicle responds to you, whether you're city driving, highway driving, using sport, using normal mode, all of your specs for how it responds to you, which I really love. But the star of the show has got to be over here. This is going to be our multimedia unit. It's 12.3 inches, so this is absolutely huge. And with it, we have the actual opportunity to have a wireless Apple CarPlay and Android Auto, which is my favorite. I absolutely love this. So you can stream mine and Gabby's podcast, available on YouTube or wherever you get your podcasts, completely wirelessly in your car. We'll flip into CarPlay just that way you guys can see what it looks like and also your at a glance. And from here, you can actually pull up your maps by pressing this button once your phone is connected. You'll also notice that we have a search feature. So from here, you can search for setup, features, contacts, media. You want to know about it, press this button, type it in. It's going to help you find it. This whole area is going to be new design. You can see we have the inclusion of a roller knob, but we have real buttons. And this is going to age really well because screens are temporary. Buttons, they're forever, in my opinion. Down at the bottom, instead of having a switchable infotainment and climate control cluster, we have those real buttons. So very easy to navigate, especially as the driver and the passenger. If you want to change the temperature, adjust the fan, everything along those lines, easy to see, and very clean look overall. You'll also notice when it comes to the dash itself, we're highlighting those glossy elements with some more chrome detailing too, instead of, again, flat black plastic. Now down here, I really like how this is set up because you have tons of space. Despite the fact that you still have a actual gear shift, we don't have a shift by wire, but you still get a ton of usable space. So lots of opportunities for charging or for connectivity. You even have a 12 volt, and this is going to be the start of a wireless phone charger too, so completely wireless for CarPlay and charging in this car. This is a Gen 2 wireless charger, which means it's going to help your phone charge faster and not get as hot as previous models may have been. Leather topped gear shift, like I said, regular gear shift, push button start, and from here you still have access to auto hold and also your rear view camera with dynamic guidelines. Guillotine style cup holders, woohoo, and they're huge too. They'll definitely fit a big water bottle. Here's a look at your glove box as well. And then for the key, it is wrapped up in plastic, but I will show you that we have integrated remote start on the key fob, and that does come standard. We also have Kia Connect standard on this vehicle as well. So Kia's telematics system is available. The other thing I will note that we don't have in the LX, I guess, is a light for your visor. The little things in life. Check my lip gloss, check my hair, whatever you need to do before you go to work.
Yeah.
All right, let's go to the back seat.
All right, tight squeeze, but we don't hit. All right, I think this will be better to showcase what the rear seats look like too.
Definitely.
So we can open the door up all the way.
So same type of material as we saw for the front. And for the front seats, I love that they double as a coat holder rest, especially now that we're heading into the fall season. And if you had complaints about the back seat in the LX, you're gonna love the back seats in the EX. Probably because it has the one thing a lot of people want, and that's gonna be your rear vents. Now we have the same ducts underneath the seats, so you're still gonna get some heat when it is set to floor. But from here, you can see that we actually do have vents where you can direct the airflow, and then you're still gonna get the same USB-Cs and storage compartment too, with a little mesh pocket. Nothing in the center, but still two sets of lower latch anchors, and also I believe three or two? Just two tethers for car seats. Space-wise, this is definitely impressive, and even from sitting in this seat, you can see that I have a really good amount of shoulder room, and I'll show my leg room here, because that one is moved up as if I was driving it. But decent amount of leg room. These seats, you really do kind of sink into them. They are quite comfortable despite the fact that they are cloth. Someone said that they weren't in a comment yesterday, and I was like,
yeah, someone said those seats
have you
are, like,
tried them?
are rock hard.
Oh,
How can you tell
try
from
them
a video?
I'm like, I thought they were good.
Yeah, no, they are comfy.
So comfy for cloth seats for sure. Good amount of cushion. And then we also have a very wide middle seat. When it comes to the headroom, decent amount of headroom, I will say.
Yeah.
Decent
So
amount of headroom.
on camera, it looks like there's no headroom, but it's simply how...
It comes down to a lot of lighting, but also the shape.
Yeah, the material and the lighting makes it look like there's no headroom, but
Yeah.
there's so much.
Yeah. Fun fact, actually one of our drivers, Ed, he is 6'3", he sat in this car today, and he said, yes, I do fit.
In the back seat?
In the front seat for sure. I don't know if he sat in the back, but for the front for sure.
He would fit.
Yeah. So very comfortable back here. So I think that we should probably do our Q&A.
Perfect. I'm gonna give you this.
For sure.
And then I'll grab the iPad.
Thank you so much. All right, guys, what do you think of this vehicle, or is there anything that you have
Oh no, our
questions
iPad's
on?
in a different spot.
Uh-oh. Run. Oh, we just saw our screen turn off. Okay, camera warning, turning it around, turning it around. Okay, I'm gonna see if I can swipe through here. Oh, oh, and see if I can find some questions. Just picked up Celtos EX Premium yesterday. Saw this car at the dealer, very nice, but missing out on a few things. Well, what do you think it's missing out on? And also, which trims did you see? Because I feel like across the 5 trims, the features are pretty well evenly distributed.
Yeah.
And you're going to be able to find the features you want in all of the trims.
That's weird. Okay. All right. Maybe we should try breaking down some differences between the LX and the EX.
Let's do it.
And kind of justify why we titled this video what we titled it. So
What did we title it?
I'm trying to
Good
find
question.
that. Can anyone let us know what the title of this video is? I titled it, Is It Worth It? And the answer is yes. But I guess, conflict with it is it's not as crazy of a deal as the EX, I guess, used to be compared to what the previous LXs offered. So let's say we're talking 2024 Kia Forte versus 2025 Kia K4. The LX of the Forte was very, very, very basic. And the EX made so much sense because it offered a lot more. That's where you got your safety functions. That's where you got things like wireless charger, heated steering wheel. And while some of that's still true for this EX, you do get a lot more standard on the LX now. So it's still worth it.
Yeah.
I would still go for the EX trim over the LX. However, you're not missing out too much depending on what your must-haves are with the LX.
Yep.
The wheels are the big thing. The wheels are what sold me.
Yeah, the wheels make it worth it. And I think the rear. Okay, so interior, a lot of them go head to head as far as features. For the interior, really the only differences are going to be drive mode select, wireless phone charger, illuminated visor, and then of course like the materials that it's actually made out of. So from a design standpoint, I tend to prefer the EX because I like a little bit more premium finishes. I like it to see like everything is coming together, and I like a little bit of variation. So personally for me, that piques my interest. Also, I like directed airflow because I have a child who's in a car seat. So that is why I like the ventilation.
I just want to answer this question, even though it's not serious, but is Gabby back to her eyelash extension phase? So I've been showing Charlotte for a long time now that I have a huge bald spot on my left eye. I don't know what it's from, probably trauma or something.
I love learning more about you.
Yeah, I definitely ripped them out once and now they won't grow back, so now it bothered me too much, so yes. Anyway, what comes after the EX? The EX Plus!
No way.
You won't believe what that adds. Another thing, I don't know if I mentioned this in the first video we filmed of this or now, but $2,500 price difference between this vehicle and the LX. This is priced at $26,495 Canadian. I think it's totally a steal at that.
Definitely. Definitely. Also, we've got 124 people on and we have 58 likes. If you guys could please take a second to like this video if you haven't done so already, we would really appreciate it.
Does the car have good road noise insulation? I'm so glad you mentioned this because that has greatly improved. So again, like I mentioned earlier on in this video, this is not the Forte with the new name. This vehicle has been completely redesigned. So they fixed everything, all the complaints of the past. They made this vehicle bigger, better, stronger than ever. So it has a much quieter road noise, so the insulation is far greater, but also the comfort of driving this vehicle, just the way it steers everything. It is such a smooth ride. We have to take it for a long road trip for sure, but it's very nice.
I saw someone say, door open please, and I'm wondering if that's because often we get locked in, but don't worry, it's manual child locks on this bad boy, so we can't get stuck.
Is there an option for a sunroof? Absolutely, it's on the EX Plus trim.
You'll never believe what that plus adds.
Sunroof. It used to be that the EX Plus on the Forte added LED lights and a sunroof, and that's why people would go for it, really. And what? Oh, lots of weird comments today, you guys.
Yeah.
Does anyone have questions about the car?
I do like those headrests, yeah, for sure.
Mike Moret said he's added carbon fiber in his. Wonder if KTM companies will ever start making products for these. I think there'd be a big market for it, especially as some of our vehicles have so much piano black. And while piano black looks fantastic, it is such a fingerprint and scratch magnet that having some sort of overlay over it would be fantastic.
Yeah, that would look good.
Mm-hmm.
It would look good, but also it's super practical.
Yeah. Even like a wood grain one or something. I don't know. Just other options would be ideal. When will we get an EX Plus in inventory? I'm not sure. And then, are you guys taking the GT line turbo out for an actual fall spin? So I guess we can't say fall spin.
Well, it's also not even really confirmed, but we're pretty confident.
Yeah, we don't know exactly what trim level we're driving, but
we're pretty sure it's going to be the top.
Yeah, because it is an event, an organized event, not by us.
Not by us. We're going to an event.
Yes.
But you guys have to follow us for that. You have to subscribe.
We don't know what we can say right now.
Yeah.
But it won't be like nice fall leaves changing. We're going to another country.
Yeah.
Exotic.
How it's fitting. You guys can guess where we're going.
How's the visibility out of the back row? So I think it's great. I feel like the windows are definitely larger than in my Forte, feel-wise.
You have a third window too, so you can see out of here for blind spot. I will say this pillar is probably pretty. Let me do a blind spot check. Let's go. Well, not let's go. I'll go.
Let me film Charlotte. Okay, make a left turn signal, but don't rely on the blind spot detection.
Okay. Okay, I can see. Hey. I can't really, I feel like my seat is probably up too far. I can't really actually see out of the third window, but I can see pretty good out of the second window, obviously. Like I can see all the way to the rear.
That's good.
But I can't really see out the third window, so I guess my point that I made out of that is super redundant on this side, but obviously I can see it out on the right side.
Ryan said for us to come out to TMP Saturday for Auto X with the K4 GT line. I want to. Tell me what time, because I have a wedding that day. Which I'm assuming the wedding will be later. And can doubt come. Let's see. Austin, Texas, or probably Vegas. One of those is right.
One of those is right.
All right. Is that it?
I think that's it.
Okay. Thank you, Ryan.
See you tomorrow.
I'll text you if we can't go. All right. See you guys. We're just getting a bunch of questions in now.
Oh my
Do you guys mind leaving them as a regular
posted comment? Let's see who can be first.
Yes. All right. Bye, guys.
Bye.
Oh,
I got it. Don't worry.